Aloha, this is Jessica Smith responding to the article of Hugh Nibley on leadership versus management, and the difference goes throughout the article talking basically about the difference between a leader and a manager and the effect that it can have on entire civilizations. The rise and fall of civilizations can depend on whether you have leaders or whether you have managers. And it can be such a small difference because there are so many characteristics that are similar. They have to be bright, they have to be smart, they have to be charismatic to encourage people to follow them. They have to have a lot of similarities in who they are and how they act, and the small difference is actually in where their heart lies, in whether in their selfishness or in their unselfishness. And this small and little thing can have a huge effect on the rise and fall of entire civilizations. He mentioned that the fall of Rome came about this way, and possibly many others that are around us as well. And one civilization that he talked about where there were leaders fighting managers was Alma and Moroni in the Book of Mormon for fighting against Amalickiah, I think his name was. But he talked about how the difference in their leadership and management qualities. For example, Alma and Moroni were right with the people always. They were with them in battle. They cared for the people. They recognized what was important. They didn't want to fight at all because they could recognize the humanity in people, and didn't want to kill them. Wanted to give them a chance to simply live their lives. They never wanted war in the first place, but when they did, they were always taking care of the people around them, versus Amalickiah, who didn't really care if they lived or died as long as he won, as long as he was able to gain control over the people and be able to become king. And that's probably the first big difference between leadership and management is the amount of care that they have for other people. He also talked about how leaders fight for equality, that they want everyone they can recognize that they're the same as other people, and want other people to be able to have leadership experiences, to be able to gain from the experience. And whereas management wants people to always be below them. They want to be the ones in charge. They want to be the one giving directions, and make sure that everyone follows them and their ideas, because they do have good ideas. We've mentioned that already. It's just the selfishness in wanting to make sure that theirs is the one that is chosen and theirs is the one that is followed. And so managers will encourage the Ophelia syndrome. They'll encourage the plug and chug, and people just becoming like a machine. That they don't encourage intelligence. Hugh Nibley talked about that as well, that managers will promote the people that are good at following his instructions, not necessarily the most intelligent or qualified for the job, and therefore anyone in any form of leadership position, the intelligence level drops. And that can alone right there could topple an entire civilization. When the leaders don't know what they're doing, how are they supposed to excuse me, govern a people, and how are they supposed to lead a people to continue to grow and to build and to rise? That is very directly causing the fall of a civilization. Another difference that leaders versus managers have is that leaders are willing to take risks. They don't always, like I've just mentioned, follow the directions of what is proven and what is good. Even in times of peace, they're willing to try something new. They're willing to take a chance on an idea, and it may fail, it may not, but they're willing to try, and not necessarily always going with something that is guaranteed, which can give really great ideas and to help once again, to build an economy, to excuse me, um, to strengthen the community and the civilization. And another difference was that managers are, they encourage their dependency on the management. They talk about how there's, back to his other talk, that there's no free lunch, that they have to depend on this manager in order to survive, that he's the only one with good ideas. And so it all kind of comes back to that selfishness that a person has if they're willing to share, and then a civilization can grow. And if not, then the civilization centers around that one person, and people aren't perfect. People are going to fall, and so will the civilization.